if you're a small business owner and you've been in business for more than 2 years, you've probably wanted to quit. If you're a small business owner and you've had sleepless nights, like, you're normal. If you're a small business owner and sometimes you lose hope, that's normal. And I think what's really cool having you on this podcast is I've kind of seen you, in the infancy stages and iterate multiple times and grow. And, let's be honest. When we met playing basketball at the YMCA, I was like, yeah, I'm a golfer. I'll come in. Yeah. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, do you sell head covers? Do you sell polos? Do you sell golf ball markers? What do you do? And come to find out, you are a student of the game, pun intended, in terms of understanding the swing analysis, the data, and then helping people feel and become better with custom club fittings. In this podcast, we talk about master the fundamentals in every business. I don't care if you're a banker, if you sell t-shirts, if you do club fittings, if you're in real estate, if you're a financial advisor, there's fundamentals to the business. And so in this podcast, we like to talk about how do you master the fundamentals. We talk about how to fall in love with practice. What you just said, what you embody as somebody who fell in love with the grind, fell in love with, chasing something that, was appealing to you. And then ultimately, how do you win at the game of life? And so let's take a little bit and just talk about what are the fundamentals of club fitting.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone's different, right? Everyone's going to have a different body type, a different skill set, a different golf swing. So it's just about adapting to that person. And it's about trial and error. In the beginning, I studied under an individual for a few months, but in reality, I was still, novice at the fitting aspect. So you just have to learn as you go, and you make mistakes, right? I mean, there's plenty of times that I made mistakes as a fitter, and you got to own those mistakes and fix those mistakes, because you can't tell the customer, well, good luck. You got to fix what you did wrong, but then you got to learn from them. I mean, what maybe I did a build wrong, or I recommended something wrong. And instead of getting angry and blaming the customer, you just work with them and make it better. And those customers could be lifelong customers. There's plenty of stories I have of 12, 13 years ago of screwing up a fitting that they've continued to be fitting or customers of mine because they trust me, because I told them, yeah, that was wrong, my bad, let's fix it, kind of deal. So yeah, it's just about it's about thinking that every customer is different, every person's different. They have a different budget, they have a different skill set, they have a different need or want, and to taking the time to talk through that and understand what they want, and then doing right by them. I mean, that's a mentor of mine told me that if you look at a customer as your best friend and how you would treat your best friend or your brother or your mom or your dad, and you forget about that sometimes, right? I mean, there's times that I've been, not the nicest to a customer, and you got to step back and be like, hey, like, they're the only reason that you're paying your bills. Whether they're spending $100 or $5,000, it's irrelevant. They're spending their hard-earned money, and you got to respect them, and you got to treat them right. But then you also have to, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to study the stuff that you're doing. You got to back up what you're doing, and then there comes to a point that I've gotten that I'm pretty educated on knowing every shaft, every head, and I'm able to fit somebody a lot more precisely. It just takes time and effort, really.